landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs altimeter is 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, you're requesting straight in for 13.
If that's available, yes, please.
Remember, correction, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance plus 4658 is type PC12 slam call, request clearance to Vegas as filed.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S-file, and I'll be full route standby. Plus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas Airport via Flight Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs, Victor 370 to 29 Palms, Victor 538, Creso, join the Creso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Plus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Creso 3, and initially climb 7,000, expect cruiser FG5, departure 167, squawk 6316 plus 465.
Plus 4658, readback is correct. Tango India Mike, taxi to the ground via Echo and this frequency.
Taxiing to the ramp via Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left traffic, left downwind runway 26 left report base.
Enter left downwind for 26 left and McCoy base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right base shortly.
United 242 Jolly Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170.3.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Palomar Tower, King Ever 20 Kilo, ILS 184.
Here 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 11.
The landing Kilo.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs round plus 4658 east ramp with weather going for taxi.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 2903 Alpha with you on the ILS.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 right, clear low approach, report miss.
November 2903 Alpha, clear low approach, runway 9, next report is missing.
Palm Springs Tower plus 4658 ready to go to and right at Bravo.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff to and right plus 465.
Palomar Tower, King Ever 20 Kilo, located at 24.
Here's our Yankee Kilo, roger, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Via Alpha to Kilo, please.
Plus 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha is clearly active, taxi to the GA parking base.
We're 7 Charlie Alpha, remain on this frequency, taxi into the south ramp via Sierra.
South ramp via Sierra with you, 7 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
Number 2903 Alpha going around.
Number 03 Alpha, confirm going around or going missed?
November 2903 Alpha going missed.
Number 03 Alpha, roger, execute the published missed approach procedure.
Flying published missed approach procedure, November 2903
Piper 2903 Alpha, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure, 03 Alpha.
Number 03 Alpha, departure frequency will be 135.4.
135.4 for departure, number 2903 Alpha.
Ontario Tower, November 516 Delta Mike, inbound ILS 26 left.
Number 516 Delta Mike, Ontario Tower. Good afternoon, Ontario. Wind is calm. Runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 6 Delta Mike. Ontario Tower, November 36. Correction, 516 Delta Mike, clear of the active uniform, taxiing to the south apron.
Number 6 Delta Mike, roger, taxi on the south ramp via Sierra. Remain on this frequency.
Via Sierra on this frequency, 6 Delta Mike.
Riverside Tower, good evening,
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land on runway 27, 03 Alpha. Riverside Cloud, November 2903 Alpha, in Alpha request taxi to the transient partner.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside ground. In the future, don't switch to the ground frequency unless you're told to do so. Should stay with tower, exiting the runway all the way to the hold short point. Stay on this frequency for now, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha, broadband. Number 2903 Alpha.
Runway clearance, November 66, Charlie Mike Cherokee. I would like to attempt the I-4 rating today.
Cherokee 76 Charlie Mike Jolly clearance. Good evening. Good luck on the I-4 destination. Will be Kilo Oscar X-ray Romeo.
That's Kilo Oscar X-ray Romeo. 6 Charlie Mike.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
I'm going to sign off and collect some information for this destination. I'll sign back in. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Just report when you're back with the I-4. And how long do you think it'll be? It's not going to be more than an hour, is it?
No. I have to file and get some charts and plates.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll still be here, so it shouldn't be a problem. And we'll look for your flight plan to come through. And we'll get your clearance done.
Las Vegas Tower Plus 4658 is unusual, 1 on the right, 4500.
Plus 4658 Las Vegas Tower, runway 19 right, clear to land, wind 1807.
Clear to land, 1 on the right, 4658.
Plus 658 exit right, taxi into the ramp via hotel, remain on this frequency today.
Exit right, ramp via hotel, ramp frequency, update 4658.
Beach ground, number 953 Whiskey Alpha's Piper Comanche PA24/Alpha. Like taxi the active VFR east departure with the weather.
Calling Long Beach ground, need you just verify your call sign, please.
Sorry about that. 916 Whiskey Alpha, November 916 Whiskey Alpha.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach ground, roger. And just confirm VFR eastbound.
Eastbound, and we're at the east ramp just south of runway 255.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, roger. Runway 26 right, taxi via Kilo.
Okay, 25 right via Kilo, 916 Whiskey Alpha. Long Beach Tower, November 916 Whiskey Alpha, holding short of 25 right Kilo, ready for departure via Parker East.
Number 916 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach Tower, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff, right downwind departure approved.
Clear for takeoff 25 right downwind departure 6 Whiskey Alpha.
Good day, Palm Springs. Ground scanning Hotel Tango. East Ramp, India. Close traffic. Runway 31 right.
Alpha Hotel Tango, do you mind? Palm Springs ground, say again, aircraft type.
Or a Cessna scan.
Skyline Tango, do you mind? Thank you. Runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Echo and Bravo. 31 right. Papa Hotel Tango.
We're center 791 Juliet, towards ground left clear.
Okay, Skype 791 Juliet. We see there's no clearance delivery with this field, so would we get our departure instructions with tower or with ground?
Always go with the lowest, so we'll start with ground. Just say your intentions.
Okay, Skype 791 Juliet. Type Cessna 172 on the south hangars with the numbers requesting VFR advisories to John.
Number 791 Juliet, roger. Departure frequency 134.9er, squawk 2061.
1349, that's 2061. Squawk 791 Juliet.
Got 901 Juliet, read back is correct. Are you ready to taxi now?
In a couple of minutes, just go direct inside. Okay, Skype 791.
Hey guys, good to see you. Chauffeur Rob, thanks. Welcome aboard. Good to see you all. Ministry, Jessica, Moore, 54, Magic Norm, Chemo. Hey Chemo, good to see you. Ozzy, thank you guys. Yeah, I know in X-Plane 11 the water physics is a bit off, and Austin is actually working on that for a future update of X-Plane. Let's just see what happens. I had this idea in my mind for some time that I'd like to learn how to do float planes as well. Now in X-Plane, we can just get some floats underneath the Papa Hotel Tango Mike in the stock 172. As you can see, I think it looks awesome. Also been following some guys on YouTube who do float plane flying, and it looks so cool. I just love backcountry flying, bush flying, and that kind of stuff. I'd like to do that as well here as part of my channel soon. Perhaps South California can give us some backcountry flights. Thank you for the follow, Mike. Thanks. Welcome on the stream. So we can do that hopefully in the future as well. Oh, Jordan, ex-Jordan, thank you also for that follow. Much appreciated as always. Evanek, hey, good to see you. I can stick around for long. Well, any moment or any period of time is always much appreciated, Evanek. Thanks for dropping by. Leper, hey, good to see you as well. So what we're going to do is just some very fun flying. Not a lot of complex, or actually not at all, navigation ATC stuff. We're here at Catalina Airport once more, but this time by recommendation of Kimo, obviously. As always, there is a very nice scenery package that I was completely oblivious about here of the Catalina Airport. So it looks much more pretty. I will show you in just a second. What we're going to do is we're going to fly from Catalina to a sea base on the island, which I don't think is anything fancy. I think it's just a bay. Even I looked it up on the Google Earth, and it's just a very boring, dull kind of beach with a helipad on it, something like that. And I know that there are many more pretty sea bases, I guess also not in Southern California, but in Canada and other places. So this is not going to be the most pretty scenery-wise kind of sea base there is around, but the Catalina Island is really, really pretty. So I think we can just fly around Catalina with our float plane and do takeoffs and landings and also some water taxi to see how well X-Plane can actually do that. Well, you guys already gave me a heads up there, and I already was aware of that the water fix in X-Plane 11 is not on par yet. Let's see what happens. I'm also quite curious to see how to use some additional handle levers and stuff that are in the cockpit, because the cockpit is actually changed now a bit. And I have no idea how to work that stuff. So it's going to be a bit of an experiment today, which I always like. Hey, Victor B, good to see you as well on the stream. Welcome. Okay, so we are at Catalina. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? Man, so we got a gear, retractable gear. We also got rudders, which we need to obviously use to steer in the water, again, as far as X-Plane allows us to do so. And just the ordinary Papa Hotel Tango India Mike plane. I think it looks gorgeous. Now, as you can see, the airport is looking much more pretty than last time. Last time I also noticed that there was a shell kind of a fuel pump over here, and I knew that was not the case in the real world. And luckily here, this new scenery is much more realistic, as you can see. Again, not a lot of stuff is going on at Catalina. It's a very basic airport, but it is looking pretty. Thank you for the follow, Norman. Welcome aboard. Also the nice helipads, which are not really here nicely parked, but if you look at the hangar, Catalina Island Airport in the sky, isn't that gorgeous? By Mystery X, I believe. And again, there's a lot of Nordo traffic, AI traffic flying here on Catalina, so as always we need to look out for that traffic as best as we can, because that traffic can be so terrifying. Let me get some other angles here. Look at this, isn't this pretty? Wow. So definitely Catalina is probably one of my favorite airports in Southern California. Still number one for me is Palm Springs. So more. Hey Tim, which 4-flight package are you using on the iPad? Basic, Plus or Pro Plus? Just the basic version. I have been thinking about using Pro as well for the logbook feature, among others. But it's a bit too expensive, and I already have a nice app that I can use as a logbook. But look at this, guys. It is very, very pretty, I think. So, yeah, not a lot of briefing that we're going to do for today's flight. This is Catalina Airport. We are currently at this non-towered airport. Basic ASOS, which doesn't work on X-Plane, unfortunately. CTAF on 122.7. Right pattern for runway 22. Usually the wind is coming from the ocean. Also, the sea current is coming from the ocean, which is an additional dimension to actually flying a float plane, because once you taxi and land, you got also not only wind direction, but also the current, right? That can actually mess you up during taxi. There are lots of very interesting... oh, this runway is also not really in sync with PilotEdge AI traffic here. But there are a lot of interesting educational movies or videos on YouTube explaining you how to handle a float plane, which is really, really great, I think. Anyways, the sea current will most likely come from the deep ocean, right? So that means that on the east side of the island, we might not have such a strong sea current, water current, and that's perhaps also the reason why the sea base here, and that's the symbol. Thank you, UBN, for that follow, much appreciated. And Eunice also, thank you. Welcome on the stream. Happy Wednesday, guys. Again, I'm also getting so much addicted to flying, to be honest, that even when I skip a day of streaming and flying, I already get trouble handling myself, I guess. So I guess that's a good thing for the channel and for you guys, and also for me. I just love to do flight simulation, guys. Hey, Dad, good to see you as well. Hey, Jessica. Yes, I will. I will. She's now playing video games actually in the room, in the living room actually, playing Tomb Raider, I think. But she's been flying yesterday as well on her own. I came back from work here at home. I walked into my cockpit here and I just saw her sitting in front of the computer doing her pre-flights, which was just on her own, which was so great. And she has been doing some flying off stream, but online on PilotEdge. Thank you to follow, May Nanek. Thanks. Welcome aboard. And she was planning her own flight from Benning to Yucca. Now, Evanek and some others could have joined her as well, flying, and unfortunately she crashed upon landing. Well, not really upon landing, but she skidded off the runway and tumbled over, and she was so disappointing with herself. But she did fly well. Also, I think you guys also sniped for letting her know on the Discord that she's also on Discord, by the way. So if you'd like to chat with her, go over to my Discord, because she has her own account as well. But she was a bit disappointed, and but she's still eager to try another time and get that navigation going. And she finds that really, really hard, especially just relying on visual reference points, which it is. It is quite hard to do that. But it was really much fun to see her doing that. Thank you, chauffeur. So we're gonna go to this sea base. This is the symbol on the sectional of a sea base, apparently. No runways, no, well, you can see it's called Pebble Beach. It's a private sea base. Well, we're just gonna ignore or pretend that we just called in to this owner and say, hey, we're here. The Uncertified Pilot is here on the Catalina Island on Avalon. Could we just do some takeoff and landing practice? So that's what we're going to do. Usually the guys talk about lanes, water lanes that you can fly in. The same pattern stuff applies. You like to land into the wind and take off into the wind. And as I already mentioned, if you got some water current going, some sea current going, you need to look out for that. And before you're going to land, you need to look out for if there's any debris in the water, the same kind of obstructions that you would look for when you overfly a non-towered field. So it's actually quite similar, even though the takeoff and the landings require a little different handling with the yoke, which I'm really looking forward to try. But again, X-Plane 11, the water physics are not that on par yet, so perhaps it's going to be very, very messy, but we're going to have a lot of fun. We're not going to do any fancy VFR planning stuff. I do like to fly around the island. This is the first time, also in the previous team, when I arrived at Catalina, so perhaps we can just do a island tour and just have a look. While at the same time avoiding all of that AI traffic here around the island, because it is very busy with helicopters and stuff like in the real world. Again, if you've got a PilotEdge subscription yourself, feel free at any point to jump in here on the ramp and fly with me, or fly around me, or fly on the island, and be on CTF, no problem at all. Many of you guys have already been doing that, and that's much appreciated. Thanks, Evanek. Thank you for dropping by. Hey, Scotty, good to see you as well. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So a basic, I guess, right downwind departure, because we're flying 2-2, so we're going to head that direction. We could also first do a tour. Perhaps that's even nicer. Let's do it clockwise. So we're going to go to the west here and fly all the way all the way around the island. As you can see, there are some departing, I guess, or arriving airports. Well, not really at Catalina, but between 6,000 feet and 18,000 feet. Well, we're not going to fly that much high up, but it's good that we know. As you can see here to the bottom, we've got some warning areas that we need to look out for, obviously, because most likely guys are training there. Military air traffic activity, military activity might be there. So, and yeah, obviously we should check on the NOTAMs to see if those warning areas are actually active, and we can talk to an approach controller to find that one out. But we don't like to venture that much out into the ocean, over the sea, because if we got some engine trouble, we might be in trouble, even though we've got floats. But I'd like to stay as close to the island as possible. So we're gonna. That's also something that we need to be reminded of, to stay close to the island. And that's about it. You can see this particular magenta big circle here saying 30 nautical miles mode C that you are perhaps already familiar with. That's a region within that circle we need, or any pilot that likes to fly in that airspace. It's not really an airspace, but it's from that distance, in that circle, you need to have mode C on. That's the altitude reading on your transponder, because the controllers like to see how high up you are because of all of this airspace here, the Bravos and all the Charlies and Deltas. So outside of that veil almost, we can also fly without mode C. It doesn't matter. I always put on mode C, but that's why that magenta line is there. Thank you for the congrats, Scotty. Yeah, that was an awesome stream. My gosh, still gives me goosebumps every time I think about it, to be honest. Even though it's just a Cat 11 rating, a lot of work I put into that. Also as part of the entire season, obviously, to get there. All right, so that's about it. Let's get going. Keiga, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Away. Shift 9. There we are in the cockpit. And as you can see, ooh, new buttons. I have no idea what works. How it works, what it is actually. Up, water, down to land. Let me just freeze the view here. What is this? Nose, main, a pump. Gear, advisory. I guess these are the rudders, the water rudders. I don't know, guys. If you know anything about using the float plane, let me know, because I'm definitely going to need your help. Water rudder up for all flight operation. I guess these are the rudders. And those are these cute things. And obviously when we're going to fly, we need to put those up. And they're now in the down position, which doesn't seem to be right, I guess. So that's something that we're going to change. But before we do, I'd like to make sure that that is actually the lever that is connected with those rudders. Because otherwise I might just retract my gear and then we're stuck here. We just restart, but still. Avoid tail low takeoffs, obviously. And landings with float planes Stinger installed during operations as a land plane. Do not land on water unless gear is fully retracted. Water rudder up for all flight operations. Do not land on water unless gear is fully retracted. Oh yeah, sorry, retracted. Sorry, my confusion. Yeah, because otherwise we might break the rudders, I guess, because we might yaw a bit or that kind of stuff. But it's currently in the down position. Kimo, I thought you had a virtual PPL. Yep, I have. At least that's what I associate with attaining the Cat 11 rating. So still it's in the down position, but if I look outside, thanks for the follow, Mac. Oh, it is in the down. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit off today. Sorry. Again, it's in the down, and here it is in the down. All right, let's look around, because there's other stuff as well. There's a strange little other lever here. Or is it a rudder? A water rudder. What is a water rudder? I have no idea. So let's mess with that once we are on the water, I guess, and have a look. we also here's the landing gear, I guess. Landing gear, emergency hydraulic pump. So if I pull on this thing, I guess then these wheels go up or go in. Wouldn't you think, guys? The water rudder is behind the floats to steer in the water flow. Roger. The water rudders are the tabs at the back of the floats. Yeah, absolutely. And these are the wheels. And I think that this thing is for the wheels, landing gear, because I guess that's what they are called, right? But what this thing is, a water rudder, I would believe that I can just steer with the rudders on the back of the floats with just my my pedals here. But we'll have to see. Steve, no, that dumps the wheels in case of failure. Oh, that's why it's called emergency. Landing gear emergency hydraulic pump. So if we pull on this, then the wheels fall off? Alright, well, I'd like to have some confirmation on that before we're going to use it. Even though if we just reason a bit further... the trusty helicopters here in Catalina. These are the water rudders, or is there a gear... advisory? No, that's not a button, right? These are also not buttons, I think. No, these are just lights. Because there isn't any other lever that might be connected to those wheels other than this thing. I mean, this is a water rudder. I would say that those are the water rudders, actually. Water rudder up. Water rudder. Perhaps this is a parking brake for the water rudder? That's a bit weird. But we're going to check, I guess, once we are take off after departure. The wheels are now down, so we'll also see how it will handle a taxi to runway 22, and we'll just have to see. Nas Aviation, if you pump that emergency thing in the middle, it will deploy the landing gear in case hydraulics are broken. But what are the other... hydraulics then, because I guess we will only need that thing in terms of in case of an emergency. But if I just want to pull up the gear after takeoff, what lever do I need to use to do that? This one? Not that one, I guess. Or are they in sync, perhaps? That if I pull this thing down, that both the gear and the rudders are down. But I guess that would not make sense if we make a water landing, because the actual wheels would then disrupt the water flow underneath the floats, I guess. So I think this is only connected to the water rudders. Sorry, I'm wrong. Don't listen to me. All right. Well, guys, I guess we all do not quite know how it works, so that's going to be interesting then. So what I would suggest is let's just take off and let's have some fun and see how it works. Because I don't see any other kind of weird new levers here in the cockpit that I'm familiar with. So those should be about it, right? Look at those. That's interesting. Okay. So, fasten our seatbelts. Life vests or emergency vests here would be very, very important. Obviously, when we hit the water and we might crash, and that is a risk that we run today. That we might crash when we land. Do my first landing here on the water, but I'm excited to see, guys. NZ Aviation, the lever on the right behind the yoke is the normal gear lever. Up, gear up, gear up, water landing is flying. This is the normal gear behind the yoke, I guess. There's no other yoke here. A lever, I guess, behind this yoke. So this would be the normal gear then. And this would be the water rudder. That would make kind of sense. Thank you, Amy. Alright, so this one is for the rudder. Makes sense because there is this little sticker there, but it confused me because there's also a sticker over there. Okay. Up for water, down to land. Roger. Yeah, that makes a bit more sense. Thank you, guys. Thank you, NZ. Much appreciated. Thanks. Okay, so after departure, that lever. All right, roger. So, door closed. Let's get going, guys. Batteries on. We've got enough fuel. Lights are working and they are down. That's correct. Now let's do the usual trick here, by the way. I'm just going to... forgetting an entire flow. First, is everything cold and dark? Parking brakes. Do we have parking brakes on this thing? I guess so. Those are set. Live vest. Let's pretend they are there. Fire extinguisher. Door is closed. LT is set to auto. Flap lever is up and the flaps are up. My levers are working. Trim is working. My fuel tanks are already set to both. Cutoff is in. Alternate is in. Circuit breakers are nicely tucked in as well. My switch panel is working and only the beacon light is on and the avionics are off. Good. Now we turn on the batteries. We got enough fuel. Those lights are working. That's perfect. Avionics are on. Seem to be working just fine. Flaps. Do they work? They go down and they go down in sync. Good. Back up. This stuff we're going to set very soon. Seems to be working. And unshaded messages. Okay. And this is we're gonna set this really soon. Okay. Avionics off. Prime the engine. Fuel pump on. Mixture in. 1, 2, 3-ish. And off. Throttle a bit in. Parking brakes are set. No one is around the prop. So clear prop. Mixture in. Magnetos back to both. Oil pressure is already in the green within 30 seconds. Good. Lean for ground, something like that. Turn to 1000. Generator on. Rise on the ammeter. Avionics on. Let's just turn on mode C. Anyway, 1200 is VOR. That's correct. We don't need VORs. We do need some frequencies. What do we need? Well, we need the CTEF of Catalina, and that is 1 to 2.7. Switch. Now in the active, let's also see if we can pick up the ASOS 1 to 0.67 switch. Let's have a listen. No, we don't. Okay, by the way, I think we have good weather here. Just looking outside, I don't have a reading here on 4Flight, and because we also cannot listen to ASOS, we have no idea. We can only rely here on our outside view. Obviously, we could also check for the weather charts to see what the general weather is doing, but we're so close to Catalina that if we might spot a front or clouds or stuff, I bet we could still make a Catalina. Hey VDG, good to see you as well. What are you going to do this time, Tim? Well, I'm just going to do some very fun float plane flying, which I've never done before, and I'm already warned by you guys that the X-Plane 11 water physics are not that realistic yet. So we're going to see how far I can apply all of those techniques and just fiddle around with all the new levers and stuff. But we're just going to have some fun here. Danger, thanks for the follow and happy Wednesday. So that's what's up. Thanks, CNC, or Charger, I should say. Thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Okay, so I don't hear anyone on the frequency. We didn't hear any ASOS reading there. So we can derive the current altimeter setting by using the airport elevation. And that is 1602. Seems to be about right. Not a big difference, but well. Ah, thanks, Snipe. You are right. I think you're right. That's the gear down. That's the gear lever. This is the water rudder, and it's now... Was it up or down? Look at that. Wow. It's now down, and it should be up for all flight operations, except when we are in the water, I guess. So let's see what happens if I change it. I pull and okay, so I pulled now. Yep, now they are, but now they are up or in? Now they are up, right? Yeah, it seems that they are up. We'll be floating on this side, I guess. Check one more time. Yeah, now they are down, clearly. Or not, yeah. Because if you now use the rudders, yeah, now that makes sense. Yeah, so they are in sync. Okay, good. So once more, I'd like to have those up. All right. Check that. Altimeter reset. My compass and my heading indicator are in sync. That's good. 22. One thing I would like to know is the winds. But if I look at the windsock, there are no winds at all, as though it seems. So that's good as well. Because I'm not going to fly. Thank you for the follow, AZ. Thanks. Welcome on the stream. Because I'm not going to fly traffic patterns here as much, I guess. If we are having fun, I might. I could perhaps better set the heading bug to the wind direction. So that would be something like this. Because once we are flying over the waters and we need to land, I'd like to land as much into the wind as possible. And it seems to be coming out of the north, which I would not really expect. But again, what we could do is just use technology anyway. Why not? Storm app. That's my weather app that I use next to ForeFlight. More fine-grained weather app. Yeah, this would make more sense to me, that the winds are actually coming from the ocean. Right? But that doesn't match with that windsock, but I guess the windsock is not that reliable for inferring the winds on the island, because it's such a specific location here, I guess. So it might be better to set the winds to this particular direction. Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So that would be 2-2. I could have gone the other way around, but still. And again, helicopters, as a Cessna Skyhawk, you should be very wary of them, because a lot of wind is now being pushed down, especially when there are two in front of you. That could easily just, that wind rolls down and comes under our wings. So we should actually apply crosswind correction while we're taxiing, based on where the helicopter is going. So if it now moves a little bit more to the right, I need to apply a little bit of right aileron, which is interesting. 08, thanks for the follow. Welcome and happy Wednesday. Okay, enough talk. Let's see how this thing taxis. I guess it would be just normal, but those wheels look a little bit different, so let's see. Parking brakes released. Yeah, at least in X-Plane, it feels quite similar. Awesome. Look how cute this airport is. It's also funny how much higher up I am right now from the ground. Weather change. Thank you, X-Enviro. There we go. Catalina traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is taxiing to runway 22 for a departure to the southwest. Catalina. Thank you, Phoebe. Thanks, welcome on the stream. And there we go. As you can see, also the taxiway, but the runway is quite sloped. So even with idle power here, I guess we're going to speed up. Again, engine is looking good. Straight out departure, we're going to stay close to the ground. Just a scenic flight for this for today. Until we eventually reach that sea base, and we're going to do our first landing on water, at least mine here on X-Plane, to see how that goes. Alright, landing lights on, strobe lights on, mixture full in, trim is set, fuel tank set to both, the water rudders are up, gear lever is over there, no one is on final. Catalina traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is departing runway 22 for a straight out departure. Catalina. There we go. This runway is so much more pretty. Well, I can see that helicopter there, and if it would now take off, then I would aborted my takeoff. But again, that air traffic is as mindless as can be, so I'm just going to ignore those. Airspeed is alive, engine is looking good. Hill up, up slope, and there's 60. Let's go a little bit faster because I'm heavier with those floats, I guess. So just to be safe. And there we go. My first takeoff with a float plane. Haha. Goodbye, Catalina. On the other side, I should have looked. No, that's not true. It's on the left here, but it's just behind us. Look at that. Guys. Catalina for you. With weird ex-enviro haziness. Keep my mixture full in. Trimming down. Where shall we go to? Landing lights off. And this is photo real, so this is actually what the island looks like. Okay, Paul, thanks for the follow. Welcome on board. Nice trail over here. And again, to the left there, far out, there's the warning area. There's actually a corridor right here if you look at the map. So I guess this is some kind of a building where you can start your cycling or hiking over the island. Oh yeah, sniper, thanks. That's also totally new. So now my gear is up and confirmed. Yeah, Snap, you should be my co-pilot, really. Wow. Yeah, we will reach China if we keep flying like this. Neff, thanks for the follow. Welcome aboard. My first float plane flight. Helicopter there to the left coming this direction. You also see some sailboats. Also here I can see someone. Catalina traffic yellow. Skyhawk is now on 1700 and we're gonna fly to the northwest following the coast all around the island, Catalina. There it flies by. It is pretty. Ah, nice snipe. You're welcome. Not noticing much wind. I am being pushed slightly to the right, if you can see. So that confirms our reading here. You can see also with the heading bug. The winds are actually coming from the left. Let's fly a little bit lower here. We're free. We're in... Are we in Echo? Or are we in Gulf? We are in Echo airspace. Doesn't mean a lot other than if the weather worsens, we do need to remain clear of clouds a bit more than when we would be in G. But the actual restrictions there are so extreme, like a 1 nautical mile, something like that of visibility, that if you ever need to consider whether you are in Echo or in Gulf, you wouldn't fly anyway. Don't think we'll reach China with this plane. No, Tohi, I don't think so either. But it's funny to know that it's actually over there. All the way on the other side of the globe, almost. Would be awesome to visit Catalina in real life once. Alright, going down. Nice scenic flight around the island. I do have to admit though that if I just look at the textures, that I find the island a bit deserted. I would think there would be many more trees, vegetation. Almost just seems like a plain rock. I guess that the coast here, if you can look here at the photo reel, you can see it's much more turquoise green, like really clear water. And obviously here the photo reel very abruptly stops because of X-Plane's water here. So I guess the waters would be a little bit more pretty and tropical looking, but still the island itself, at least on this side, is quite deserted. And there we go. Gear is up. That is nice. Thanks for the follow, Bolito. The Papa Hotel Tango Mike Uncertified Pilot Cessna 172. Yes, Ozzy, it is ortho. My entire coverage area for PilotEdge is actually ortho, which is very pretty, but it's also quite practical because if you like to fly on site using the sectional as a VFR pilot, that's also quite practical, as you can imagine, looking for visual reference points. So that's also a reason why I fly with photoreal. Nicely low to the waters. How low are we allowed to fly as pilots over water? Are we allowed to fly as low as we like? Thanks, Beta, for the follow. You're so kind, guys. Thanks. Welcome on board. And how high up are we allowed to fly over land? If we like to fly as low as allowed. How low are we able to fly? Are we allowed to fly? Not able, but allowed. I believe over waters we can go as low as we like, except when we fly over a boat or something like that. Then it should be, I think, 500 feet. And over land it is 1,000 feet, except when we fly over an urban area. No, that's not true. Over an urban area you need to fly at least 1,000 feet, I think. I'm not sure anyway. Whoa, here the sea is actually a little bit more rough, I guess. You can see the difference from looking from the back here to here. Thanks for the follow, guys. Kryu, thanks. So I would not land my plane on this side. The water seems to be moving towards the right here, to the northeast. That would make sense. And now we're heading on the other side of the island. Ah, here is the vegetation. Okay. Does that make sense? Well, obviously it has to make sense, but I guess because this is the side where the winds are overflowing, the winds are coming from the other side of the island, perhaps here is where all the fog and moist will drop onto the island or so? I don't know. But here I see something that seems to be more... Again, it's quite deserted, but I think it would be awesome to walk here. Wonderful trails. Again, the waters here look a little bit rough as well. And I would have expected it to be otherwise. Thank you, LTZ. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated and happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Uncertified Pilot. Alright. Going on. Where are we? I guess we are at Arrow Point. Or at camp. Let's shortcut this bit. I guess we're at Arrow Point. It seems like an arrow, so it's a good name. Low flight, guys. And again, I don't know what the altitude restrictions are. I believe it was 500 feet. So officially, I guess we are already too low. But let's pretend that we're just a little bit more free to do so. Look at this. Wow. This is backcountry flying for you. Even though we're on an island, overflying an island. What I'm going to do is climb a bit, so we have a more aerial view of the island. We can see a little bit more than from this altitude. I am noticing that the climb rate is much slower with the floats on, which makes sense, obviously. That's nice to notice. Thanks for the follow, Lycan. Thank you. Welcome on the stream. "500 feet. Thanks, Sniper. Greater than 500 from any person, vessel, vehicle, or structure." So that means that we can go as low as we like, as long as we stay clear of those objects. Right. And for the ground, I don't know what it is. On land, I think it's a bit more complex, but... Ah, here's a nice bay. Look at this, all the sailplanes. Oh yeah, remember, I can remember us flying on that side. Helicopter over there. Some nice buildings. Oh man, imagine living over here. When you need to do groceries. Need to hike for an hour to just get there. Oh yeah, this is nice. Let's not fly into the terrain here. Nice pier. Very nice. Look at this. Well, this might also be a nice spot for us to land as soon as we left off the sea base. Interesting. Thanks for the follow, Jen. Thanks. Welcome, guys. You're so kind to follow the stream. It really means a lot. Even it's just a follow, but I like that support. Thank you so much. Again, trails, trails, trails. So where is there actually any kind of town or something like that? I guess that's Avalon, which should be all along the coast here, or down the coast. No, Jacoby, this is the stock 172 of X-Plane. Just the stock X-Plane 172. And it looks great. It flies great. Thanks for the follow, Rage. Welcome. Oh, this is a nice cliff. Look at this. Photoreal doesn't quite capture. It does capture the letters Google. That's nice. Funny. Wow. Yeah. You can see here a little bit of the beach here with really nice clear water. But again, that photoreal is cut off here by the X-Plane dynamic water. That's pretty. Alright, I guess we're already approaching Catalina Airport. Let's say that we're going to stick at around 800 feet. The elevation was 1600? Yes, 1600. So let's stay below 1600 for 500 feet. So let's say 1000. That would be great. Hey, Games family, thanks for the follow. Catalina traffic, yellow Skyhawk is flying at 1000 feet, coming from the west, flying along the coast to the east at 1000 feet. We'll stay outside of the paddock, Catalina. You don't need to go that fast. But again, trails, trails, trails. Not really a town or something like that. We did see a beach with some nice buildings, but that's about it. But it is pretty. I love to hike. Also did some nice hiking in Sweden actually with friends. Not only hiking, but actually survival. Where we needed to hunt and make our own food and navigate. We even hiked at night with compasses and headlights on, and it was really, really cool. And a lot of systematic thinking actually that you can apply from aviation, and also the other way around, obviously. I guess we're not really at 1000 feet, but at 700. Well, this is a much more pretty altitude. Again, if I look at this, well, there's not a lot of survival opportunity here. I guess, yeah, well, survival can actually be much more of a challenge in such deserted places where there's not a lot of vegetation, and especially when you're on an island. Though beaches actually provide you with a lot of resources, but also fish, obviously. Thanks, Jacob P. I like it too. Let's adore the 172 just once. So from the outside here, it's so nice. Thanks for the follow, Tile. Yeah. That was close. Ah, there's again another beach here. But again, nothing like a town or something like that, but I guess a camping site. Looks cool though. But I remember, I will remember that spot that we just visited with the bay with the sailboats. I think it would be cool to do a landing over there after we went to that sea base here. Pebble Beach. Doesn't have its own frequency. Don't know what the 00-150 means. Or 06. Interesting. Thanks for the follow, Richie. Welcome on the stream. Ah, helicopter. Look over there. And Sandman, thanks. Welcome. I guess we're coming up at the Pebble Beach. So this Avalon I should say, Avalon Beach or Bay or something like that. And on Google that looked like the most urban area so far. So I guess it's the main town on the Catalina Island. Oh, you're welcome, Richie. Really appreciate that follow. Yeah, Tile, I kind of agree with you. I've also been chatting on my Discord with others. Oh, look at this. Also about the stock weather of versus X-Enviro here. Oh yeah, this is much more scenic. A little bit weird with the photo reel, but still. Buildings here, I guess these are hotels. Wonderful spot here. Looking over the sea. I fly a little bit around it here so we can peek more clearly to the left. At the same time, need to remain clear of clouds or mountains. Observatory, I guess, here, and a pier. Oh yeah, here we're gonna land, guys. This is actually not Pebble Beach. Golf course, obviously. John Fly, this is your place. We should golf together sometime. Again, a pier. Ah, that's nice. Not that populated with 3D objects, but still. See a helicopter there in front of me. Thanks for the follow, Glash. And again, here we can see power lines, and I think here is the Pebble Beach. Yeah, this is the helicopter also with a helipad that's gonna land there. This is the helipad. Oh, there's also a helipad. That's weird. That is not in sync with the scenery. It's a cool spot though to practice your helipad landings, I guess, if you're a helicopter sim pilot. But this here, just after the strut, this is actually the Pebble Beach Airport. So there's not a nice pier or some kind of thing that you can taxi towards with your float plane. So that's a bit disappointing when I looked on Google Earth, and I can see it's quite the same here in X-Plane, obviously, as well with photoreal. A ski destination? Avalon? Really, Finish G? I guess it's not this Avalon, but somewhere high up in the mountain, somewhere else. Okay, so again, the winds are coming from the southwest, but I guess here from this side on the mountains, I don't know if those winds will still be here. We can, if I looked at my app, my storm app just a while ago, that was the case. So let's just circle around a bit and prep for our landing. So first off, I like to land into the wind. That's the first. We keep up the landing gear, the wheels, that on the right side, this lever. But we need to turn this one, push that one in so we get the water rudders. But that's what we do after we touch down. Otherwise we might break them. And that's about it. What we need to do is not aim for a tail strike, obviously. So what we used to do, at least what I see on the YouTube videos, is that you just approach the waters. First, make sure now that there's no debris or stuff. Well, it's a little bit silly, obviously, here on X-Plane, but still, that's something that you would do, and I guess much lower also. And go full flaps, flaps down. Yeah, we almost fly towards the beach. I think that's a little bit of a risky approach for me as my first landing here, because I have no idea how much time it would take to actually come to a stop on water. I guess that would be much faster than when we land on a on a runway. So that's something that I'm aiming for. And as soon as we touch down, we keep the yoke towards us. So we're actually using kind of like aerodynamic braking on a runway. You pull on the yoke so that the the nose of the airplane is pointed up, and so you just almost push yourself against brake on the water almost, and that's how you would do it until you eventually stop. You keep always the yoke towards you, to your belly, and then you can taxi. And with the takeoff, you need to transition from a yoke aft position towards a little bit of a yoke forward. Relative to that, thank you, Sonnenberg. Thanks. Welcome on the stream. All right, first notch of flaps. No idea how high up I am actually. We're already in the wide band, so second notch of flaps. Lights, landing lights are now on. Again, everything is up. That's good. First water landing. I think we got enough room here to come to a halt. Perhaps we were far too much away from the beach. But I have no clue. So let's first see what happens. Okay, 60. This is exciting. We're going slow. That's good. Thanks for the follow, gaming. Reborn. Okay. I can see the current is coming from the right to the left, so that's not really in our favor. We do have a headwind, at least. Hard to see. Guess I should have remembered the windsock over there near the helipad. Okay, we're going slow. Guys, spray. Brace! Brace! Going slow. Again, it's around 40 where my stall speed is with full flaps. But that's usually with a non-float plane. 172. Nose up. A little bit of power. That didn't sound good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yoke aft, still fully aft, and there we are. That was a weird sound. It was like landing. Oh, I guess that was XP realistic, which doesn't know that we are actually on water. And there we are. We are on water, guys. That's weird. Flaps up. Oh yeah. Now water rudders down. And now I should be able to taxi. Yeah, I am. Far too much away from the beach. Thank you, Voju. I think so as well. Again, crosswind correction, so Whoa, 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 whoa. Keeping my ailerons to the left here, but I don't know if that's a good thing. Let's just neutralize them. No, it doesn't really matter. Keeping my yoke fully aft. Oh man, you can really easily turn seasick here. Imagine the takeoff in just a few moments. Can I compensate with that? No. Cannot really do anything about that. That's interesting. Interesting. Thank you, Efus. Thanks for the follow. Thank you, guys. Julian, thank you. Welcome on the Uncertified Pilots. You guys are so welcome. Okay, this is interesting. And now the taxi seems to be okay. I guess there are also different wave strengths and stuff. One thing that I always imagined I would do in a float plane is the following. So we're here. Avionics off. Everything is off. Batteries are off. We're still floating and then opening the door. And actually, I'd like to stand on that float while we're just drifting into the pier. Here we are. Oh man, guys, don't get seasick here. That was interesting. Tim, you can turn down the wave height in the weather settings. Oh, that's interesting, but I guess this would be kind of okay-ish, I think. Thanks for the follow, Petros. This is interesting. Okay, so we landed currently at Pebble Beach. Not a lot of stuff going on here, actually. It's quite boring, to be honest. Also, when I was looking on the on Google Earth. So what I'd like to do is take off again. We would like to do that into the wind, so we should actually take off a bit, but I don't like to take off into the direction of this terrain. So I guess it's going to be a crosswind departure. Let's go to the left here, with the crosswind coming from our right. And once we took off, we make a left downwind departure and fly all the way back. Perhaps we can do a touchdown on Catalina just for the excitement here with our gear down. And then go to that nice little bay over here that we saw. Oh, we could also go one bay further, head north. Camila, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Because there at Avalon here, there were also nice boats over there, and I'd like to just also come in for a landing and park the Cessna 172 next to a sailboat, if I can. So let's get a stop. Let's stop all of this seasickness right away. So batteries on, mixture and a throttle bit in. We don't need to prime the engine because it is already primed. Do we have a clear propeller area? Yes. Clear prop. There we go. Door is still open. That's why we hear a slightly different sound. Yoke aft. Thanks for the follow, guys. Welcome. Gio. Sometimes, most of the time, guys, your usernames are so hard to pronounce. Yeah, mystery. Kind of. But with the yoke aft, seems to be okay. We could also just sail around the country. No, that's not what we're going to do. Okay, so for the takeoff, keep my yoke aft, give full power. We don't use any flaps, I think. But what we do need to do is once we are on speed, and this is again not really that nicely simulated in X-Plane 11 just yet, there would be a kind of like a very particular wiggle to the airplane once you hit a particular speed, and then you can actually lower the nose a bit. So from a full yoke aft position, you just allow the yoke to go a little bit more forward, so you step onto the wave that you're creating while pushing it because you are full throttle. And actually, you should then also reduce the throttle a bit and prevent you from rotating, so you can do a run-up while you do that. So you just you pretend that you're actually on the runway. Thanks for the follow, man club. Thank you. Because there's no way to do a run up here with a parking brake on. There's no parking brake, right? So that's what you do then to check whether the engine is actually working. Just well, taking your time here to take off, and then when you feel that the engine is good, everything's in the green, you go full power, and then just fix on a particular attitude and just allow the airplane to get speed and take off. That's kind of like the idea. The manual suggests 10 degrees of flaps for water takeoff. Thanks, Snipe. Then I will do that. And don't forget to take your water rudder up before takeoff. Thank you, Mystery. Thank you, guys, for those tips. Okay, so first, water rudder. So now it's not working. That's true. I'm using my pedals. It's not that, well, still we've got rudders obviously on our tail, which do have an effect, as you can see, but not that much. Okay, Yuk, fully aft. Thank you for the follow, but I'm concentrating right now. Full power. A little bit of right aileron here. Again. Doesn't look pretty. Whoa, whoa. No, this is not realistic with X-Plane. Perhaps it would take us a year now to take off. So, again, that flap recommendation. Oh yeah, I guess we're stuck on the waters. This is what I've seen on YouTube as well. Let's see if we can relieve the yoke a bit. Let's see if we can still manage. Speed is so gradually coming up. A full aft yoke. See if that works. So I guess we're just gonna sail all the way down to Los Angeles. Contact Marcus and say, hey, we're on the waters. Do we have clearance to come into John Wayne? No, this is not working, guys. Let's do... Right. Change of plans. Change of plans. Perhaps it has something to do with the water direction. Oh no, let's just try. I think the water, where's the water coming from? At least in the textures, perhaps something like this. Again, water, water, out. Actually try to push the yoke a bit. Right, okay, so I'm gonna do that right now. Push the yoke now. You're right, NZ, you're right. You are right. Pushing even a bit more now. But the big danger here is this. Guys. NZ, thank you for that tip. But we are now in a Pirates of the Caribbean mode. Look at that! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do we have live vest guys on board or? Thanks. And some. And slowly we are sinking to the graveyard of many other sailplanes around Pebble Beach. Do you have enough vests? Yeah. So again, that was also something that I learned from reading the manuals and looking at the videos on YouTube, is that obviously the one thing that you like to avoid also during takeoff and on landing is pushing too much on the yoke, because eventually your float, the tops of your floats, the front of your floats will catch the water, and then obviously you top. And that's actually when most accidents occur, also during landing. So that's why it's always important to have an aft yoke position. But obviously, as you could see here in the waters, X-Plane doesn't really fully realistically simulates that behavior of water on the plane, and so we're just stuck on the water and we're unable to take off. At least I am. Perhaps I should just fiddle around more. Towie, Sokol approach. We are negative 3,000 feet. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's a bummer. New flight. Yes, please. That's why I love flight simming. Catalina, that's fine with me. Start new flight. I do like to land at the at that bay, even though we know we cannot take off anymore. But I just like to do that. just have some sailboats just next to me dancing on the water. That would be fine. Rip Tango India Mike. Ozzy, you're in a good mood, I can tell you. I can tell. Okay, so we are neutral, neutral, neutral. We are batteries on. Let's prime the engine still. 2, 3-ish cutoff. Again, parking brakes are set. My fuel tanks are set to both. And we are in the clear. Here, pop. To 1200. Very good. Generator on, rising the ammeter. Lean for ground to 1000. All these lights can be turned off. This is on. Very good. MOTC 122.70. That was indeed the CTAF. And we got in altitude, airport elevation of 1602. And this is set and it's still in sync-ish. It kind of is. And that's about it. Awesome. And that gear is down. Good. Parking brakes released. Let's do one more time, guys. But that's a bummer. I would love to fly float planes actually on X-Plane. Lost. Yeah, no pizza. At least we got a clean plane now. That's true. Oh, we got some changing winds. Oh no, the winds, the windsock does now indicate the wind that I would expect actually, coming from the southwest. Catalina traffic yellow sky is taxiing to runway 22 for a straight out departure. Catalina. We can then fly to the east. Or southeast, I would say. Oh, not too fast. And we can check out the other side of the island. That might be cool. Okay, again, it's looking good. Looking good. It's looking good. Don't forget the gear this time, Tim. All right, strobe lights, landing lights. Make sure full in. Catalina traffic yellow sky is taking off runway 22 for a straight out departure. Catalina. And ignore all the AI. Runway 22. Again. Airspeed is alive. Keep on that center line. Nice textures of the runway. Pretty. Everything is in the green. Good. 50. 60. Rotates. A bit rough there, I guess, because of the slope. And there's the ramp. Awesome. It is such a nice takeoff here. Rudders up. No, gear up. Yeah, they're in. Good. Whoa. Let's go a little bit more nose down here. Look at that, guys. Wow. There is a lot of vegetation actually on this side, but to the right there's not a lot of vegetation. Here it's so pretty. Nose down trim. Let's keep our landing lights on just to be a little bit more visible around the airport. And there we go. Wow. That's nice. So let's get to the coast and then fly around to that Avalon Bay and let's do another landing. Just for fun. Oregano! Hi Tim, how are you? I'm doing fine. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. One thing though is that as soon as we land, obviously again in that bay, we are stuck there, obviously, as we just have discovered. Again, helicopters to the right there. Being very vigilant. What we could also do is just go around the island and do just a traffic pattern on Catalina. Perhaps that's a little bit more dynamic, and also we can keep flying and I can just practice a landing once, which is always good to do. It's so pretty. But again, I do have to admit that I love Palm Springs better. Ah, awesome, Oregano. You're welcome aboard. Thanks for the follow. Your limb. Thanks. Happy Wednesday. Ah, there's a yacht. At least that's what it looks like. A little bit to the right here so we can peek down on the left. No, that's not a yacht. Again, you can see looking at the textures, a nice blue clear water. And there's the warning area on that side in front of us. Yeah, that's true, Sniper. I guess so. There should be a keybind for that gear lever, and also I guess for the water rudders. So yeah, you can use Spot to configure that stuff. But it's not too much of a hassle just to use the mouse. Wow. And again, on this side, not a lot of vegetation. Also no trails. Well, one I can see. Sailboat all the way down. There's also another island. I think that's military. Oh, can I do this with Trek IR? Yes, I can. Sailboat. And guys, as soon as I finish, I'm just gonna do one more celebration flight. Thanks for the follow, Rain. Thanks and welcome aboard. Just gonna do one more VFR celebration flight now that I passed for my Cat 11 rating and can call myself a virtual PPL pilot. Just gonna do one more celebration stream, and then I'm gonna start with my season 2, and that's gonna be all about learning how to fly IFR from the grounds up. The ground up. Starting with ground school, obviously. I have no prior knowledge, actually, not much prior knowledge about flying IFR. So I'm going to study the videos of the training videos of PilotEdge on YouTube. I'm going to stream those here on my channel as well while I'm studying those, and hopefully some of you can join in and answer some of the questions that I most probably will have while watching. Keith will also join in for some of those streams to lend a hand, which is great. And then I'm going to start to do some actual IFR flying as well. And I cannot wait. Just with the Cessna 172, no, at least as long as I can, no autopilot. And gain some knowledge and some experience there, which I think is really, really great. Well, I do have the switch panel Sniper with the gear lever on, but I set that gear lever to my parking brake of the 172. So that's why. What cliffs? Very pretty. Let's climb a bit so we can also overlook the island just a bit. I have a more better view here of this area. Might be more pretty on that side, perhaps. I don't know. Let's see. Well, snipers. It's not even stealing, but thank you for the follow, Yurei. Thanks. Welcome on the stream and happy Wednesday. You can actually download Snipe my Uncertified Pilot profile on Spot. I just share it on the Spot server. So if you search Uncertified Pilot, you get the exact same settings that I'm using. Also for the yoke and for the throttle panel, if you like. Also the radio panel that I have. I think even that the Spot Next manual refers to the Uncertified Pilot profile for the A2A at least, but I also have one for X-Plane. This is nice. Avalon should be over to that side, just over this ridge. Should be somewhere over there. Yeah, you can already see it. Ooh, nice shot. So I'm not gonna land there, because then we're stuck with current version of X-Plane 11. And I guess we already had much of fun there, crashing. Battlefield SP, thank you for the follow. Welcome on board. Again, helicopter there flying. Alright, so let's prep for our entry for the Catalina airport and do a traffic pattern or two. The airport elevation was a 1600. That means that the traffic pattern altitude would be at 2600. So let's do that first. It's that traffic pattern altitude. So let's keep a climb going. Still have my landing lights on. While we are enjoying Avalon. Nice golf course. Baseball field. Southeast we are, and we're going to join the let's see, right pattern for runway 22. So we can still say that we're going to enter the left base for 22, because why not? And then do right-hand traffic patterns as soon as we did our first touchdown. So on the go, we're going to make right turns. Alright, so that's going to be a left base for runway 22, which is not ideal. Usually you should just overfly the field first and then do a teardrop. Perhaps it's good practice. Let's do that. So we're going to overfly the field from the southeast, 500 feet above traffic pattern altitude. Overfly like this. Make a left-hand teardrop and enter the right downwind for runway 22 and then land. That's the idea. Let's not drift off too much. Let's go 500 feet above traffic pattern altitude. Catalina traffic, yellow Skyhawk is currently at 3,200 feet southeast of the airport. We are going to overfly the field from the southeast and make a left teardrop entry for the right downwind for runway 22 for a touch and go. Catalina. There we are. Trimming down a bit, heading buck is set, lights are all on, still on, mixture is full in. There is the field, I think. Yep, there it is. So we're gonna fly like this. Left, teardrop, entry, and then land. As you can see, there's traffic over there, over there. See traffic over there. So this is gonna be exciting. Thanks for the follow, Gage. Thank you. While we enjoy scenery here for just a bit, but it's quite a deserted island. I expect it to be a little bit more urban areas, but I guess it's just a big camping kind of hiking island, I guess, where you would do retreats and yoga and workshops and that kind of stuff. Perhaps it's just very, very touristy, sailing, flying perhaps as well. Catalina traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now 3 miles east of the airport, currently at 3,200. We're going to overfly the field from the east to the west, and we're going to enter the right downwind runway 22 through a left teardrop entry. Catalina. Alright, 500 feet-ish above traffic pattern altitude, so we know we don't hit anyone who is currently flying in the traffic pattern. We don't hear anyone on the CTEF yet. So all the traffic that we are seeing is actually AI, or Nordo traffic, traffic that doesn't transmit, which is legal in the real world and is something that is very hazardous when you're flying on untowered fields. So here we go, heading back to the left, overflying the field right now. Just keep the nose a bit up. Or not, your flaps will be fine. Catalina traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now overflying the field from the southeast to the northwest at 3,100. We're gonna enter the right downwind 22 through a left teardrop. Catalina. Now we overflew. Again. Don't see any other traffic below us. Start that descent to traffic pattern altitude. Let's fly a little bit off of the field. You can see the runway there. There we go. If you're flying high up, it's so pretty. Perhaps we should have done that as well. Go a little bit more high up. Look at that. Very pretty. Okay, let's make that teardrop while we're descending to traffic pattern altitude. 80 knots, that's perfect. There comes traffic pattern altitude. 26, so a little bit more of power, a little bit more of a yoke aft position. There comes the field. There's our entry here. Fly a little bit more to the field. In case of an engine out, we can make it. Hard to see right now, but Catalina traffic, yellow Skyhawk is entering the right downwind for runway 22 for a touch and go, Catalina. Alright, keep on altitude, Tim, or we could already a bit try the descent because we're already past midpoint. There's the field. Nice. Good distance. There we go. Yeah, 6.5, it does. It does look amazing. Alright, we're already in the wide bend with our speed, so that's good. Again, I don't see anyone. I don't hear anyone on the CTEF. It's looking good. Again, wow. There's the field, good. Catalina traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now turning right base, runway 22 for a touch and go, Catalina. Speed. Second notch of flaps. There's our base. Awesome. Look at the slope, guys, of the runway. Look at that slope. Alright, there we go. For that speed, should be around 70. Catalina traffic, yellow Skyhawk is turning final runway 22. Touch and go, Catalina. Helicopter is leaving the ramp. Always look out for that downwash. Wake turbulence. A little bit too fast. Nose down trim. So, as you might imagine, with such a slope, our touchdown or nose up position there, our attitude just before touchdown is quite much more steeper than should be a little bit more steeper to land on our main wheels and not hit the runway first with our nose wheel because of that slope, right? In comparison to a normal runway. There we go, a little bit more power. Good. Flaps up, full power, almost standing still already. Full right rudder here, my gosh. Oh! Did you know, guys? Guess what? Guess what? Oops. Welcome, Catalina! And we now own this runway until a truck tows us off. Yeah, so you can see, as soon as you transition to an airplane that is a bit different than yours, for example, featuring a gear, use the checklist, or do a few flights with an instructor. That's awesome. Look at that. I mean, I was already a little bit struck by the fact how quick we stopped. But that was why. Awesome. I think I'm just going to stop here, guys, and just quit down the runway. This would be an awesome ending scene. Interesting. Shift 9. Okay. Avionics off. Mixture off. There goes the magneto and the batteries, landing lights, blah blah blah. Everything is off. Should we also set our parking brakes? No. Again. Yes, Snipe. Well, I should be able to remind myself, obviously. There we are. On the runway. Oh man, I feel so ashamed. Look at that. Sunk into the runway. No one else can land here. Ah, it's got to be a first time for everything, guys. And this is it. Alrighty. So, that completes our float plane flying with a first landing on water, a first crash on water. And we even managed to land with our gears up on the runway here on Catalina. I really enjoyed myself. And the island was very pretty as well. Well, again, I expected to see a lot more urban areas, a lot more towns. But that wasn't the case. So, yeah, it was a lot of nice vegetation areas there. And I really loved the cliffs and that stuff. I hope you did too. Yes, Snipe, it's okay. We won't tell Mireia. That's interesting. And a pizza, just another day at the office. That's true. But I cannot wait to fly downtown LA again, just with my usual Cessna 172, and just do one more celebration stream, because I'd like to do just one more thing before I start with my season 2 of my series. So that's going to be very, I'm going to fly really soon. Perhaps even tomorrow or Friday, we'll have to see. Thank you for the follow, Martin. Thank you, and happy Wednesday. And then we're going to start with season 2 of my series, IFR Flying, and starting my ground school first, which I cannot wait to do. But first, those celebration streams. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining in here on the Uncertified Pilot. Thank you for all your follows. That's much appreciated. Thank you for your support. Hoping that you still like the content here, and hoping to see you very soon. Snipe, thanks again for your guidance. Kimo, thank you for being in. Pizza No Glory, Voju, 65, all of you guys, thank you so much for joining in as always. It's always that cozy here in our little Skyhawk. Guys, happy flights, blue skies, and hoping to see you very, very soon. Bye.
Palm Springs Tower, Skyline Hotel Tango, and your mic is 10 miles north of the airport at 3000 with information X-ray inbound for a full stop and landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs altimeter is 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, you're requesting straight in for 13.
If that's available, yes please.
Correction, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance plus 4658 is type PC12 slam code request clearance to Vegas S file.
Qantas 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, and I'll be forward standing. Qantas 4658 is cleared to Las Vegas Airport via Flight Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs, Victor 370 to 29 Palms, Victor 538, Cresso, join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Qantas 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3. Initially climb 7,000, expect to further after 5, departure 167, squawk 6316 plus 465.
Plus 4658, 3 back is correct. Tango India Mike, taxi to the ramp via Echo on this frequency.
Taxi to the ramp via Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237, Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind, runway 26 left, report base.
Enter left downwind for 26 left and recall your base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right base shortly.
United 242, Jotway Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170 at 13.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Papa Tower, Kilo 520 Kilo, ILS 24.
Here 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 11.
Land 240
Number 237, Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 7 Charlie Alpha, thank you.
Palm Springs ground plus 4658 east trend with weather calling for taxi.
Qantas 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 2903 Alpha with you on the islands.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 cleared low approach, report to miss.
November 2903 Alpha, cleared low approach, runway 9. Next report is missing.
Palm Springs Tower plus 4658 ready to go to right at Bravo.
Qantas 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff to right plus 465.
Papa Tower, Kilo 520 Kilo, Juliet 24.
Here's our Yankee Kilo, roger, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Via Alpha.
Qantas 4658.